Yo, happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're all well this fine day. Missed you guys the other day. And I swear, it's always something these days. We've got the the heat wave, a household full of really sick people, internet outages, but they will not keep me down. We will get together and play. We will make these noises. Tom, thank you. I like your black shirt, dude. Oh man, Mikael, how are you, dude? And Eric, how are you? Bonch, salutations. Heidi, welcome back and thank you so much for the sub. Tom, how are you this fine day? Saffron, hello. Nate the Sound Ninja's in the house. How the hell are you, Nate? How's the new routine treating you? Have you decompressed a bit? I feel like all of humanity needs to decompress a bit. We all need a year off. Saf is saying the next thing I need to figure out now is how to overcome this anxiety. Man, I'll tell you what. A lot of that will just fade. A lot of that will just fade. You just have to get out into what will be your main mode. Your, it's like slipping into new skin. That's really what it is. Except for really it should kind of feel like, I don't know, like you're finally fitting in your days, if that makes sense, right? Like, if it really doesn't feel fun while you're doing it, or like you're not really looking forward to it all the time, then change your angle. And don't chase going out and recording stuff. Chase figuring out how to make specific sounds with what you have. But the anxiety will fade. Really what it is it's about confidence and momentum. Like once you've got some inertia with your confidence and your productivity and your wins, then everything becomes easier, because right now you're probably full of all sorts of self-doubt and just general like unsureness. And it's because you're about to take a leap, and it's totally normal. Oh, geez. Just randomly checked my mouse battery, and I'm going to plug it in for just a minute and talk with you guys. Because if I do that, I won't be able to control my computer. And that would suck. Watching from a dog sitting house, huh, Nate? Do they have AC there? And cold beer? Oh, yeah. Ooh, I like that. Stomp your feet and hands as loud as you can and roar like a lion. Nico teaches me that every day. Ooh, a nice relaxing day off for Tom. Nice. What else you guys get up to over the last few days? Ooh, I like this comment from Tom. Find it within yourself to know this, and it will lead to something bigger, and the anxiety you might have is just a small molehill compared to the mountain of amazing stuff you're going to do in the future. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's loving the rainbow shirt. Nice. Paul, welcome back. Sunny Maryland. It is freaking hot. Portland, still, we're in the midst of yet another heat wave. This is the third or fourth 100+ degree day. It's hot and sweaty. And very, very smoky. Ooh, are you doing a bit more music for Hop Legs? Bookworm time. Nice, Nate. Nice. It's good to hear that you're getting a little downtime in for yourself. Yeah, burnout really is real. You gotta definitely gotta be careful about how much you're pushing yourself, no matter what your job is. AC is running now. And they told you 10 times to grab something cold from the fridge. Well, then I hope you have, dude. Very nice. When you're house sitting for someone, that's a bonus, man. AC, that's awesome. Super chill. Hope they got a comfy couch. HD TV for your Twitch. Blackberry's here. What you doing, dude? How are you? Stomping and roaring makes the root chakra strong. Oh, well, hey. This explains why there's so many different cultures that have like some sort of like stomping, yelling routine at the beginning of big like gatherings and rituals, huh? Huh. Only 96 degrees there, Paul says. Ooh, and drumming. Well, of course drumming helps. Absolutely. Right? I always feel a lot more connected to the earth when I drum. It's a very primal thing, you know? Talk about instant great energy. It just, that's some healing stuff right there. Wouldn't it be great if every time you hit the root note, your root chakra just kind of... Is that a thing? Can that happen? I really don't know enough about the chakras to make any claims like that. Absolutely believe you're blocked spiritually. I think a lot of people are right now. I don't think you're alone in that. I think a lot of people are just burnt out on the state of things. All right, let's see where my mouse is now. Let's see if we have enough juice to get through that. Ooh, 6%. That might be enough. We'll give it one more minute. That'll probably get us through the stream. Yeah, so Nate, you know, here's the thing, man. That statement that you just made, you love being on these projects and they bring you joy to see your friends get something awesome. But it's hurting you. I know we've talked about this before, but learning how to let go of your sounds and music earlier is going to be the key, dude. I know that's a super, super, super hard thing to hear, but that's really what it's going to come down to for you, I think, is not trying to make everything so perfect all the time and then allowing yourself to move on. The act of iteration at the standard levels that you have will get you to that level of perfection that you want. Tom says, I've been burnt out for over 6 months now. Been surviving on an ember. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Oh, man. Candy coated ear fluff in the heat. Yes, yes, yes. 99 Luft balloons. Yeah, Nate, it's a really tough thing, but I'll tell you what. You know what will help? You know what will help get you back into that mindset? Chris Gear's Sound Sprint Challenges. You remember these, right? I'm not talking about the ones where we put a sound in front of you and say, make this sound. Because I'm afraid to say that that is what is leading to your condition right now. You feel like the stuff that you make needs to be like something else. and it does not. It needs to be what it is, and then you need to set it free. And that's it. Like, that's where our relationship stops with that sound. I know that sounds a little cold, but I'll tell you what, man, once you get to that point, it liberates you to make millions of sounds. You still appreciate all of them. You're not going to remember most of them anyway in the long run. You'll remember some moments. But yeah, you just got to let go of them, man. Yeah. Oh, just look deep into my soul. You and me in a little toy shop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Saf, I agree with that. You know, at first, and you know, that's not to say that some like music is different than sound. Sound, it's easier to make something and move on than it is with music. But the more music you make, it's easier to step away from. And the easier it gets to step away from, the easier it gets to move on from. Baby steps. Blackberry says, it took me a while when I first started out to learn that the second you share your music, it is no longer your own. If it remains precious to you, it will never find a life of its own. There you go. There you go. Of the Spheres music. Michael, how the hell are you? Oh man, he's so sick. He is so sick. It just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. It's just deep in his chest. It's awful. Hey, hey, DJ Empirical. Yes, of course you are allowed to share your 8-bit reel, dude. Drop a link. Just let me know if you want it to be public or not. Yeah, Nate, you know, an ice cream cone on a hot day with your girl. Treat yourself. Thank you, Michael. You're a good man. All right, we should make some stuff here. We should make some stuff. I feel a little bit behind because of just the internet outages with Comcast and sick kid and stuff. Haven't been quite as productive this week. Oh, nice, Nate. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to refresh my ears on where I was with all of these. These are tiny little scenes, if you will, or like moments. We'll start bouncing these in a few minutes in various layered arrangements to make some fun stems to play with and see how they all line up. These will all sound too busy, each one of them, because there's a stack of 8 different things running together. But yeah, just gonna get my ears going in the right direction here. Oh, Nate, yeah, he's gonna be okay, I'm sure. He's just sick. We got a message from his school saying, heads up, there's a whole bunch of kids here that are sick. And of course, you know, with like 90% of the country in the red right now, we were just like, oh, geez. And the first 4 kids to go and get tests, they all came back negative for COVID, thank goodness. But I feel like we never really know, right? Because supposedly, like, it takes a couple of weeks or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, the pandemic and the state of our world being what it is, of course, we're out of tests. I know, it's always something, isn't it? It's always something. So, as soon as I can get him tested, I will. We don't think that it is because he hasn't had a fever this whole time, but oh God, he just looks awful and sounds awful, and he's miserable. And also wonderful all at the same time. Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, let's check out the second one here. Man, it's freaking hot. All right. Maybe we'll actually spend some time mixing these today to start the bounce down process of all of them. All right, maybe one more quick one. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Decisions. Let's start mixing these things. That's what we'll do first. Oops. Oh, for those who are keeping tabs on everything that I'm doing with Audio Design Desk, we have started a new stream. It's all still like testing and stuff, but it's up. You guys can check it out. Will, for those of you who are keeping tabs on Will, who is Zev Music, I've recruited him into the ADD army. And he's going to be streaming a whole bunch with Audio Design Desk as well. And hey, Travis is here. Dude, I was just talking about you this morning. How the heck are you? Ooh, a new progressions podcast with Gab this time. Huh? Oh. Great. Excellent to hear it. Excellent. All right, so before I move back on, I was going to pull up the new channel for you guys and share a link so you can give them a follow. So it's Sound On Official. We've selected Sound On as the parent company name. So here's this. You can also find it on YouTube, Facebook. Where else is the live stream happening? Maybe the website. And then the other one to watch out for is let's see here. Is Will's channel, and that is Zev Music. So let's I'm gonna drop both these, and that is Zev Music. So let's whoa, wait, hold on a second. That is Zev Music. There we go. All right, so first link is for Audio Design Desk. Second link is for Will. And again, Will has joined the team, so he's streaming with it as well. And once we're a bit more caught up on production, you guys will start seeing the actual application here on the stream quite a bit. But in the meantime, I'm working on a bunch of Marvel stuff right now. So let's get to it. Good to hear that you're settling back in, Mike. Nice, dude. Oh, and Nate's got something here to click on, so let's do this. No, dude, don't worry about it. I don't mind a double post if it keeps me from having to scroll. What's going on here? Oh, this is great. Is this an image from the game? So help me out here. What is it that we are actually hearing? This sounds like some sort of like flying maybe, or some kind of engine or something, and then movements around it for a game jam. Yes, yes. Okay. And the limitations. Ooh, now I like that last little comment there about how it emulates the Atari ST and its limitations. It is PC only, no Mac right now. Those of you interested in 8-bit chiptune type sounds, Nate has just dropped this link in the chat. Atari VST. Route it with meta plugin into your sassy Pro Tools. Cool. Sassy Pro Tools. Yeah, there are some others that are available for Mac users. Absolutely, yeah. 8-bit, yes please. Plug. How to use magical 8-bit plug. Let's check this out really quick. If it'll play.
はい、こんにちは。YMCK の余村です。ですね、マジカル
Needle
8
drop this here.
のホスト DAW によってね、全然違ってきちゃう。T3 の場合は同様に VST3 ファイルということになります。ですね。
Oh, this is like just the installation. Oh man, yeah. Yeah. Really great. Grab this one too, Nate. Awesome. Right, Nate? Travis. Oh yeah, that's right. See, now Travis really doesn't have a chance to get over into the stream very often, so he probably hasn't been keeping tabs on this at all. Things with Audio Design Desk are progressing very rapidly, and we're kicking ass. And I think we're actually going to make a run at the actual DAW market and not just stay within the pro sync category. I think we're actually going to be a rather dominant force soon. And it's been a crazy wild ride. A Japanese band made this plugin, huh? So basically, Travis, no, you're not a bad person. You're a fantastic human being. So basically, Audio Design Desk is intended to put pictures and music to sound 10 times, or to music and sounds to picture at least 10 times faster than any other tool ever has been able to. And it's all built around the idea of basically typing or tapping your sounds into a timeline in real time, and then using our randomization engine. It's a replace tool, the replace tool, with all of its filtery goodness, to swap out sounds a la carte or en masse. You can quite literally score an entire scene, like composition wise, in a matter of seconds instead of a couple of days. So it's quite an amazing thing. It's Mac only currently, and everything about it is awesome. We're working on implementing full MIDI right now and building an entirely new interface for it. It's already blazing fast, but we're going to be building a new database around it as well to free all the sounds up and actually put them into kind of like this living, breathing, interconnected ecosystem where everything kind of coexists equally. And the neat thing about that is that you can find and call upon sounds in ways that you simply cannot in other tools. And since we've built this, we call it sonic awareness, it's like intelligent sound. It knows where, it knows what's happening in your audio by way of metadata and markers. So when you're adding markers to your timeline by tapping keys on your keyboard and sounds are flying through the air and landing in your timeline, they all line up precisely. So there's no more like major fiddling and going and looking through third-party libraries for sounds and stuff because we're constantly cranking out new music and sounds. So it's a beast. It's a beast. It's definitely going to change a lot of things in the industry for sure. It's gonna push a whole new era of competition our way, I think, which is always good for us creators. But yeah, a bunch of brilliant people working really hard to make it happen. Like an auto-detected transient matching thing, well, it does have good transient detection in it, and it does guess metadata of files rather well, almost regardless of what naming convention is used in the file. It will bring in metadata and keywords from just about any program. And it is insanely fast and powerful. New tools and faster workflows. And Nate, yeah, dude, I would so highly encourage you to go back to your roots, your own roots, and focus on doing sound sprints for a while, man. Seriously, give yourself time constraints. Work in 5 and 10 minute increments, and quite literally, when that buzzer goes off, is when you stop and you set that sound aside and you start on a different thing. And don't play the emulation game. Like, don't try to make it sound like anything else. It feels wonky at first, but I mean, it's like riding a bike. You'll get back into it, no problem. Yeah, it'll help. It'll help. Burn through the sounds. All right, back to Marvel. Let's make these things sound big. And then we'll start to figure out which things we're going to layer together as we bounce out our stems here. Okay. I'm going to start with these guys here. This over just a bit more. I'm going to wrangle this so it's not quite so much in the middle. Let's go in and offset these manually. Oh, I don't want to phase. All right, I'm going to come back to those Armageddon drums here in just a bit. Let's do these sticks. All right, let's bring these down just a bit more. We'll see if this ends up working or if we're going to go for a more traditional spread. The Marvel stuff is actually very much background music most of the time. All righty, Nate, you take care, dude. We should be here. Okay, so let's get this one. We're going left. 12. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, let's go back and do this big guy here. Hopefully this isn't too boring. Watch me mix this stuff here. Which one has that kind of weird phase thing going on? That's not good. Ooh, it's those. Oh, okay. Well, let's zoom in there and fix that. There we go. It's a little better. Oh, there's still a little bit in there. We may have to do a bit more of a traditional mix on this one. It's slack. Sorry. Um, That's weird. Had him paused, but it wasn't stopped him. Yeah, there's still something. I'll figure it out later. All right, shovel. Yep. On to the next. All right, now for the most questionable sound in the entire thing. These little, they're not really hats, but I'm calling them hats. Yo, what's up, Fred Thoughts? What's up, Zach? How are you? I love questionable sounds too. Wait a minute. What's going on here with... Did those really not get bumped down? Damn it. All right, let's do this. This. Bring all these down. go. Aha. I think. Yeah, I think it's these Armageddon ones. Okay. Screech. Oh, they are very separated. Still a bit better. Big question. So Travis is asking, do you have an opinion or interest in Dolby Atmos? Yeah, so I think Dolby Atmos is great. I think it's awesome. I think it's going to have a long adoption curve, a longer adoption curve than surround sound. But surround sound caught on, and at one point in time, people thought that it was asinine that we were even talking about putting that kind of stuff into homes. And look at people now. We've got those little sound bars are all over the place. I don't know. I mean, I think that it's a natural evolutionary thing in sound, and I think that there are. I don't necessarily think it's gimmicks, but I think there's solid ideas and technology pushed through an engine that was created by the old boys club a long time ago. That's what I feel about it. It's great for sound, but the hoops that people have to jump through, etc., are a bit much. I remember we were at Pure Mind in Studio A, since we were right around the corner from Dolby headquarters. We were one of the first places to have the full Atmos certification. Ran out into the wide world and with ambisonic arrays, and caught stuff all over San Francisco. And you know who had great interest in all of that stuff, in that technology and those recordings and stuff? The game industry, and largely nobody else. um, I don't know. I think that its time will come, and technology will play out, and it will be um, really fantastic. I think that it's just timing is kind of crummy for it, right? Theaters for screen, I think it's brilliant in a lot of ways, because just think of like going and watching a Star Wars movie, right? And like having the Millennium Falcon like soar right over your head, right? And like feel all of that, like it's thrusters going across your face, right? Like that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. Um, but no one's really going to theaters right now. And yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it does seem very necessary. I mean, the immersive nature of VR, of AR, theater going experience, um, IMAX, like those all fully qualify. Um, but then there's everything else. And I think that where most people are digesting and consuming their media, it's not really going to affect them. Um, and having this big push uh, for it, like especially from Apple, like I can see where all of this is going, right? And we know how Apple plays. They're going to unveil some insane immerse yourself in our gaming world at some point where they've just got um, endless hours that you can spend in these different places, and the Atmos will be totally appreciated. So them like pushing Atmos with their music thing, I think is a bit gimmicky. Um, but it will all play out. It'll all play out. I think it's just going to take a little while because we don't really have the tech for the average person to be fully floored by it to the point that it needs to become part of um, their normal, right? Yeah. Yes, it is more backed by the playback manufacturers than the creators. And I think that it is so much more so than surround sound ever was. I think that surround sound is still a pretty tough sell for most musicians. Um, and I think that a lot of it just has to do with how we normally experience music and what we actually need to have a good experience with music. We don't really need all of that. There are going to be high level artists that find really unique things to do with this, but the thing is that you've got to have the playback environment for all of it. So yeah, yeah, and I think that they're trying to make it another. Um, I mean, we've seen this before. We saw it with laser discs. We've seen it. We've seen it a whole bunch of different times. I just don't see it as ever really being a consumer level thing that the consumer actually goes out and kicks the tires and buys their own setup. I think that whatever ultimately that ends up translating to for most consumers, it's going to be on a much um, grander scale. Like things will be baked into devices, and Atmos will be in larger, like brick and mortar installments. I just don't see it being something that people are putting into living rooms. That said, I think it sounds amazing. You put the thing in a dome and you put up a bunch of visuals with the sounds, and it's horribly immersive. It's great. It's amazing. STP1, how are you, dude? Yeah, Subpack as well. Yeah, I remember trying Subpack for the first time several years ago, and I was like, man, this right here, like this right here, this is what bedroom producers are missing. Because there's so many people out there that have no real gauge of their subs in their projects, and when you can feel it like that, it's like that's true impact. That is true impact. Doesn't surround sound need a special room? I've seen mastering engineers use that. It's more just that it needs. Well, surround is just a certain number of speakers, so it's spreading out the sound to more channels than just stereo, right? And it's been around for quite a long time, actually. What's up, Samaritans? How are you, dude? Crystal Head Fog from me. So here's the thing. Travis is asking a good question. You don't think it just happens behind the scenes and just appears in your Apple earbuds regardless of whether you want to listen to it or not? Um, well, what are we actually hearing when we hear Atmos in headphones? And how many people have headphones with all of the, I mean, because you need like multiple drivers and whatnot, right? Like, am I mistaken about that? Um, yeah, exactly. And what Paul is saying, you can make a 5-1 mix here and enjoy it, but does it translate to your audience? Um, Samir, it's just a bunch of MIDI. Just a bunch of MIDI. Flying colors, hooray! VCV lets me send audio to specific channels in their vector mixers to let me mix in the plane. Not tried Atmos 7.1 mixing yet. Yeah, I mean, like we can. What's a good example? Absinthe. It's got octaphonic output capabilities. You can do crazy stuff with that thing. But you know, the large majority of people that are using it, like 99% of the people are, you know, running mono and stereo out of it. Basic earbuds will work. The Dolby file decodes to binaural on an iPhone, but Apple throws out the mixer's binaural settings and places their own on. Oh, really? Really? But it's all binaural, right? I mean, it's a pseudo Atmos, right? Right? Isn't it? I mean, the binaural panning aspect of it, yeah, I get. But yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I think that's really where like if we were all to go to a really big theater and it has, you know, I don't know how many speakers in it. Let's say it's got 100 speakers in it. Um, and the sound is, you know, this, let's talk about a flyby, right? So like maybe it's like a chase scene and there's like a few flybys in a row, right? Like we would turn our heads in the theater much more than we normally do, right? Because like we're following the sound and the visuals. It would feel like, why isn't this 3D? Speaking of, are they still doing the 3D thing in theaters? That was like something they were really pushing hard again for a while. Now, if there was a bunch of 3D stuff and really true Atmos, um, like true to Atmos speaker experience, then it'd make you jump out of your seat. It'd probably knock people out of their chairs. Like people would probably fall over. They'd probably get a little disoriented at times. Can you just imagine? I mean, we watched a couple little clips of things that Dolby's put out marketing wise on Damien's channel, and I was shocked that some of it was kind of laughable for being such an impressive um, technology or sets of technology. I was kind of shocked at how flat the videos were. In fact, there were a few that were just straight mono. What about the feel around from Kentucky Fried Movie? Yeah, totally. I mean, they've got Dead Mouse, and um they had someone else, I can't remember who it was, and it was this god awful synth sound that just kept going, and the whole thing is in mono. Oh yeah, the whole thing. Yeah. I don't know. Oh man. A bit of a fail, yeah. Well, you know, it'll come around. It'll come around. I remember some of the things people were saying about CDs. God, now this is going to make me sound pretty old, but I remember what some of the people were saying about CDs. I remember walking into Tower Records and seeing the first box set of CDs. It was Beatles, right? And it was super high end. It's like, who in the world is going to pay 60 to $80 for that Beatles album? And then they did. And then it was amazing. And there was like CDs for everything. And it was amazing. It's always Beatles first. Yeah, it is. It totally is. I remember looking at it though. I used to try to jog with the CD walking. So many people did. Oh, so classic. Oh, so classic. Even with the 10-second skip doesn't work. Yeah, dude. Herman Fudd. Oh, hell. You had to have a classic cassette Walkman, though. I mean, and those, man, those. Tell you what. Um, oh, let's put just a touch out of the middle here. I know, Logic. I know. We'll bounce stuff soon. You know what it is? You know what it is? I can hear that phase in the reverb tail of one of these things. I think the tonality is okay. Alright, yeah, let's start bouncing some of these and seeing what we can do with a little remix on each one. Oh, man. I know this probably seems really nitpicky, but I don't like that phasing effect. And I'd like to keep this really simple. Oh. See if it'll actually let me do this. Oh, actually, I should really call these, still. Ooh, mini discs. Yeah, Zach. Ricky's here. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you? Just so you can screw up the quality. You should, Saf. Recording on tape is fun. Paul, fancy, fancy. Yours could play MP3s. I remember when those started coming out. Travis, are you considering getting the studio space certified, or are you just curious as to what people's thoughts are, or what are your thoughts right now on the Atmos thing? Yeah, dude, me too, Zamerits. Me too. The old Comedy 64, the Commodore 64. Absolutely. Ooh, the mini disc multi-tracker. Yeah, yeah. I like rebuilt a radio station out of parts from Radio Shack and leftover parts from community access stations, but a lot of stuff from Radio Shack. My very first mixer was also from Radio Shack. Atmos can be folded down into binaural through room and speaker emulations. Yeah, yeah. Some headphones like the Addy's Mobius has motion tracking so you can hear things stay where they are when you move your head. Oh, oh, I was not aware of that. Yeah, PSVR has something like that. I was in a TIE fighter last night. Star Wars. Wow, that's cool, Samaritans. You're talking to Dolby about setting up, just going through the studio budget, figuring out how to make it work. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's definitely the next thing. I mean, it's definitely not something you'd want to shy away from, right? I mean, yeah. I think there will be a return on the investment, Travis. Long term, right? It's hard to tell what's going to happen with the state of our world right now. I think that's maybe a bigger piece of this. Um, people getting in to places. I don't know though. I mean, if you're building something really small and intimate, that would be pretty epic, right? It's a destination. Yeah, yeah. A little proactive thinking and planning. Hmm. Might have to bounce out a bunch of tails on this one. All right, on to the next here. All right, so this is what this is cinematic toms 01. All right, and now let's do our sticks. All right. Oh, right, not. And I'm not thinking very clearly here. Not cinematic toms, orchestral toms. Of course they're cinematic. We know that. All right, so we'll call this one just drumsticks. And what is this one? Plastic and base. So this is actually just like rim and tom. Okay, so this will be orchestral toms and rims. One. Yeah, that is a lot of money right there, right, Tom? Oh man. It ain't cheap. Speaker EQ, time delay requirements. Man, yeah. 5,500 on satellites alone. Yeah. That's a bit. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, that actually sounds like poo. Let's fix that really quick. Let's move these. Wait. There we go. That's better. Okay, so this is some kind of metal. Drum rim. All right, and this one is actually a shovel. And next is more metal, but this one's more like a bar or a pole. metal pole. Man, how many times do I need to turn off notifications for Slack? It just will not turn off. I do not understand. Ghost in the machine. Oh, and these are actually really low. Shoot. I forgot about that. I'll spice them up before I bounce them. They do sound a little close, though. Not too much. All right, so these will be our hats. All right, let's see what these sound like. And there's those loud hats. All right, so if we take just one of these, let's say our lows. And we do a quick little remix. We'll just do a quick preset to check it. Okay. There's a small amount of phase in there. Let's just see if we hear any noticeable gaps on any of these in a loop. Okay, that is okay. Well, Travis, now I got to know. Travis says, you should see the Vintage King quote I got when I told my guy, put together what you'd build in a new Atmos room. How much was it, dude? Ooh, Paul, interested to know if the room correction algorithms work out for you in your space. Don't ever tell your gear guy to just send something over. Oh, doing a little mambo. Oh, he had you with 11 passive JBLs. Oh. Yeah, what's up with that, DJ Empirical? Like, seriously, I have turned off notifications and I've paused them. Like, in preferences, I've turned them off. In profile, I've paused them. Maybe there's a way to, like, override that or something. Huh. Yeah, I don't see any other options. I feel like I've clicked on everything and they still just keep sending notifications through. Just get the bow set up. Plus an HDX card, plus a second computer for the renderer, plus a new monitor box, redneck card. It was ridiculous. Oh, that's awesome. Pro AC Studio 100s, old ones. Mm. Heavy, heavy ones, right? 36K with a discount. Holy hell. This could happen by the end of 2021, Paul. It could. Oh, great. Okay, hold on a second. DJ Empirical has this tempting link here. Here's Slack's notification logic. Wait, what? Oh, holy heck. So all of these channel considerations are above you. Why would do not disturb be overridden? Wow, this is fascinating. So there's lots of ways to get a yes out of this and only a couple of ways to get a no out of this, really. This is insane. Where did you even find this? Wonky is the right word for this, for sure. Ooh, what is Paul getting? What is Paul getting? Paul is getting. Oh, well, look at that. Separates quality performance in a gutsy, feature-rich AV receiver. I love that. Gutsy. Oh, that's just great. InScript Tech, thank you so much for the follow. Ooh, and it has memory for the speaker profile, so you can kind of toggle between them, huh? Wow. Look at all of look at all these connections on the back. That's amazing. That's amazing that stuff like this is going into people's homes now. Oh, nice. App control. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, good. It works with Napster. You're set. Uh, God, it is so flippin' hot. Ah! In Script Tech. Nope, I'm just still me. I'm just still me. Um, OhmForge and OhmLab, two different things. If you're thinking of like um, shoot, what are the plugins? I can't even remember off the top of my head now. But they were the ones with the first collaboration DAW back in the day. I have not talked to them for quite a while. We used to get messages for each other constantly, like 10 years ago. OhmForce, that's what it is, yeah. You're right, Saf. That's what I was thinking. That's a lot of hookups back there, right? Yeah, right, Mike. Now Napster's like just another streaming service. I mean, to be fair, Netflix didn't start 100% above board, did it? I mean, I know there was a lot of like public domain stuff, but wasn't there a period of time where there, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I thought there was an edgy era. It's a shame they make hi-fis with surveillance built in. Oh man, right? Oh man. Don't play Metallica through that. Bring back Napster. Oh jeez. Yeah. From Chematron. Yep. Yeah, I remember it being a DVD delivery service, but I mean prior to that, because it's always been an online thing. Um, wasn't there a I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering this. I thought that there was some kind of questionable part of their uh, content at one point in time. And Amazon started as a book company and now they own Twitch, right? Yeah, totally. Paul, you still get DVDs. Wow. I have a theory that any business doing over 10 million in revenue yearly is going to have questionable practices. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, 30 Rock. All right, back to these stems. Why did I lose audio? Man, tell you what. I love you guys, but I do not love Streamlabs lately. Seriously, Streamlabs, come on, man. There it is. You know, it's these last rounds of updates, and it's not just these last rounds. It's like going back months now. They've been pushing out these updates, and then they're not running proper QC on their updates before they push them out live. And then they have to put out these other updates to start patching things. So we're getting these updates like daily, and it's just aggravating. It's just aggravating that they are rolling like that. It's not very professional. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. Let's move on to this batch here. Cool, and those are all set. So that's all batch 1. All right, so we called these orchestral drums low, so this will be part 2. And toms. Okay, this is orchestral here. Orchestral toms and rims. Shoot. We're actually going to have 2 of those. That's fine. We'll call it O2, and we'll just track that manually. Have to go through and make adjustments for all the naming conventions afterwards anyway. Sticks. All right, so drumsticks 2. Oh man, the new audio engine that was built for Audio Design Desk is working so well. Okay, this is the one that we called orchestral toms and rims, but this is actually, maybe I should call this plastic toms. Whatever. I should really change that. Okay, so this is the plastic. And this should be plastic. Okay, which means orchestral toms and rims. We can call this O1, I guess. Okay, now this plastic toms and rims. Cool. Okay. Got to keep this stuff all straight so people can find it. All right, so now onto metal. Okay, we can call this one orchestral toms and rims 2. Now we're on track. Cool. Now the next round of shovels. Cool. Okay, so this is shovels 2. Or is it just shovel? Shovel? Gotta keep it weird. Can't have just plain orchestral drum sounds in there. You gotta have a freaking shovel in there, right? And a metal pole. And the hats. All right, I think I just called those hi-hats. Cool, now we can actually start mixing and matching these a bit. See what they're sounding like here. Let's do maybe some plastic toms and rims and orchestral toms and rims and some low drums. Moving on over. give the computer a small break here. All right, so this is orchestral drums low 03. All right, so orchestral toms and rims 2. Toms and rims 3, actually. Is that right? 02. Rims, this should be 01. Cool. All right. So this is just plastic drum rims. Okay. Bums and rims, and this will be 04 on this one, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And back to another shovel. And this will be number 3. Metal pole. God, this has got to be the hardest part of being a parent. Like, hearing your child so sick is just awful. I can hear him through this in a different room, like across the house, through my headphones, through doors. Metal pole 03. Oh my God, it's hot. so hot. All right, hi-hats. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I don't think those were both on. Let's just do that one again. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Kontakt was the original sampler used for the percussion stuff. Wow, Paul, that's amazing. I've actually never even heard of that, but that makes perfect sense. The police station would have an area for selling stuff like this. Wow. Wild. Oh, Travis, if you're still here, have a good one, dude. Good seeing you for a while. DJ Empirical, what's the broken heart about? Well, having had many animals throughout my life, Saf, I can tell you that having animals and having kids is really nothing alike. I mean, when they're both needing stuff at the same exact time, they're a lot alike, sure. But otherwise, no. Oh, yeah, Fisherman's Wharf. So good. No, in Script Tech, you are absolutely right. Fisherman's Wharf lozenges, yeah. Right, Tom? Headphones have gotten freaking incredible. Oh, oh, yes. Thank you, DJ Empirical. Now I'm caught up. Yeah, I was catching up with the chat. It's hard to tell when I say things and how you guys respond when I'm always ignoring you guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. Ben! Ben! And Nate. Whoa, all of a sudden, it's like Pure Fam is here. How about that? Small Pure Fam reunion there. All right, let's see if this one sounds more spread now. Yes. Okay, cool. All right, on to the next batch then. Gotta move over my dummy clip here. For those of you playing along at home, if you use Logic and you want to bounce out stack stems, right? So like you're going to layer a few audio files together from a folder, you can do it from a sum stack. You can do it. You just put in a dummy MIDI clip there and then bounce in place from that, and it'll convert it all to audio for you. All right, that sounds fine. Four. Okay, so these are exclusively toms, so we're back to O2, so orchestral toms O2. Sticks. And plastic. All right, so we're back to the full thing. So plastic, toms and rims, and this will be 4. All right, and this is metal, which we changed. We called this orchestral toms. And rims, so we're looking at 04, so we're on 05 for that rim. And this is 05. Shovel, 04. Metal pole, 04. And then hats. And this is just 4. Yeah, this is 4. I need to bounce out a whole bunch of trap style hats for this too. We're gonna put a little trap spin on one section of the album release here. Thinking probably after I get the Marvel stuff wrapped up, I'll probably start doing maybe like half the stream in Audio Design Desk. You guys are gonna absolutely freaking love this thing. All right, so this is part 5. Okay, so this is back to just straight toms. So this will be 3. And sticks. Oh, hey, you guys, you know what? I saw a report uh this week. I can't change or I mean I can't disclose any actual details of it. Uh but you know what's most popular on Twitch right now as far as individual interests goes? Music. Music. It's by a fraction of a percent at this point, but it has moved above video games. And this is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. uh Nate is saying in script tech, Chris was my old sound design teacher back in 2017 if you're meeting him for the first time. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's me. Hi. Pulls up a stool. Nice. Um, yeah, Nate, while you've been away, we got into a somewhat deep conversation about Atmos. And then we've steered towards some speakers and then headphones eventually. Cinematic Toms is the is my alternate universe version of myself. Yes. Ah. Ooh, hey, look at that. In script tech, if you got the go ahead on some new headphones. Oh, wait. Bye, Nap. Welcome back, dude. Haven't seen you in a minute. How are you? Just made a cinematic neuro modular. Nice, dude. Just lots of resampling today. Just playing. If you feel like sharing, you can drop something if you like. And slow down chicken noises in Reaper. I like it. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Bit of film, bit of broadcast. Nice, nice. Twitch is the new MTV. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ben, welcome back. Doc called. I hope you're okay. Nice. Atmos as in Scapes drones? No, we're talking Dolby Atmos. Remember when we were getting Studio A approved for the what's it called? Certification. Well, Travis Ference came through today, the one and only Travis Ference. If you guys are not familiar with him, go follow him or go follow his podcast, Progressions podcast. He's a freaking awesome podcast host and a wickedly talented man. Anyway, he came in and he started talking about Dolby Atmos. That's why we went there. Oh, Ben. Oh. Oh. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope your Achilles heals. Thank you for the link drop there, Tom. Tom, do you have mod power here? Oh my God. This thing will keep ice for like a whole day. And it's amazing. And yet in this heat wave, what is this, the third heat wave this summer? It's not, ice does not last a whole day. I actually have to fill it up a few times each day. No, you do not have mod power. Well, if you want mod power, you can have mod power. You're always helping out like a mod. Ice is the best. You know, okay, going back a few months, do you guys remember when the solar flares happened and I lost speakers and a TV and a fridge? Do you guys remember this? The fridge freezer went out, like all the stuff got burnt up in the solar flare storm. Okay, so our first heat wave, the one that shattered all the records and killed a bunch of people, where it got up to 116, which was like, God, feels like so long ago now. I think it was only like a month or something. It's just, it's like freaking traumatic. Anyway, that happened just like a week or something before the heat wave hit. So we had brand new ice maker and everything. It was the one big upside of having to go through the ordeal of having everything die was we are in the ice right now. This thing makes ice so fast. No, I do not live in the Bay, Nano. I live in Portland, and it's never gotten anywhere near that hot up here. No, 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 not my record collection. The heat wave is shattering records. Yes, I would agree with that, Michael. I think that this entire summer is a shattered human record. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Tom. Exactly. I think that the universe was like, well, all right, this year you're going to get a new TV, a new fridge, some speakers. I still need to get new speakers. Freaking solar flares, man. Wait, I don't even think did I bounce that one? I did not. I got a little distracted. Let's get back there and do that. Sticks. All right, so this is drumsticks. And this is 05, drumsticks 04, 05, yes, 05. All right, so this is plastic toms and rims. Okay, so the last time we saw toms and rims was 4, so we're on 5. Metal. Okay, so this is both. So toms and rims, and this is 6. Boom. And back to the shovel, and this should be 5 on the shovel. Yes. Metal pole, also number 5. Ooh, almost into the last batch, and then we get to have fun remixing and stuff. That's where the real fun starts. Okay, so this is hi-hat, and again, 05. All right, so this is somatic drums, low, and this is 06. Don't you just love it when you get to the end of a big bounce party? Rims or just toms? Just toms. So we are on to number 4 on this one. Orchestral tom. Yes, 04. Drumsticks 06. Okay, so this is just plastic toms, no rims. We got this before, right? Plastic drum rims. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Okay, so this is actually the first one that's just the toms. So this will be plastic toms 01. Okay, so this is going to be just the rims of those. So this is it's the first one of these we've had. So this is just metal drum rim. Oops. Our shovel. This is part 6. Every Marvel episode should have a shovel, right? Metal pole. That's part 6. All right, and hats. Part 6. All right, cool. So we've got all of these bounced. They should play somewhat well together right off the bat. Let's see here. So bounce okay. Yep. Look at all those. Now we're going to have to go through and make them all sound lovely. And when we do that, we can knock out some remixes of them as well. One of the best parts. Zev! What's up, Will? Hey, can you toss your link in the chat for us? I tossed it in the chat earlier, but I'd like to do it again. And we should also put the audio design desk one back up as well. I think it's just Sound On Official. I guess I could just type that out. Nana, when you lived in the Bay, it got that hot. Did it get up to 116? Well, I know that in the like in the Bay, yeah, yeah. On the east side, I was on the east side. Ooh, in Script Tech. Well, an early welcome. I hope you have fun up here. Where are you coming from? Yeah, you know, down there it is so much easier though because you guys don't have the same kind of humidity and air conditioning is like at a different level. Most of the air conditioners are classed out at 105 here. They just don't, they start breaking when it gets that hot because we've never had weather that hot. So people just aren't really prepared. Ben, for you, I got time for feedback, sure. And you also got that constant breeze from the ocean down there too, which is nice. The TV show Portlandia should not be used as a tourist guide. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, pandemic. Pandemic killed everything. Happy tie-dye Friday. Will, are you wearing a tie-dye right now? Everybody's got the happy Fridays all of a sudden. Oh, it is Friday the 13th. How about that? Master of ADD yet. Will be a master of ADD very, very soon. Oh, Saf. Well, your streams are just going to change to Twitch Celebrity Deathmatch. Round 1, Saf versus Nano. That's awesome. Yeah, Nate, absolutely. Up in the valley there. Couple hours outside of the bay. Too much heat waves and too much snow. You're in just the right spot for it, huh? Yeah, yours is 80% black shirts. So is mine. So is Tom's. We joke about that all the time. It's all we need. It's like our uniform. Oh, snap. You even have the project. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's like Batman's closet over here. And your favorite Bulls t-shirt, which has holes in it, of course, of course. Is that waiting for you back at home, or do you have that now? Like, are you going to be reconnecting with it like a long lost friend soon, or what? Let's listen to what Ben has been up to. Oh, I bet no one's called him Benny in a while, because he hasn't been here in a little while. All right, Benny, here we go. I'm just teasing. Ben, it's good to hear what you're working on again, dude. It's been a minute. Really awesome clarity, solid synths, except the one that comes in around 140. I think it falls kind of flat compared to the others. And I think that it's not just a matter of adding some space to it. I think it's actually just that it's not moving. It's a fairly static thing. It's like, here it is, and that's it. So something to add more development, add more curve to the ADSR, right? So it's like you're finding a peak and then it's coming back down, and you can kind of hear it come back down. So maybe the decay on it is actually fairly long, right? Anyway, I'd say mod the pitch just a little bit, detune, just find some ways to add some movement, and then maybe even play with some panning or something like that. But it does play well with the other synths, as Will has pointed out. And I know that it's a whip that, transitions, builds, and all the bells and whistles. But I do like, it's absolutely worth chasing down and finishing. In Script Tech, haven't come across audio design disk yet. It kind of seems like Splice for people who want to talk about weighted keys. It's actually, if you were to take, it's a post production DAW, right? So it's intended originally to put sound and music to screen, to picture. But it does it in a way that's never really been done before, and it does it 10 times faster than any tool. And we are quickly adding features to make it a real music making DAW as well. And it's gonna probably change a bunch of things, actually. And no offense taken, dude. It's all the same patch. You really want to go in on a pro sound effects or boom bundle and just audition footsteps for hours. Well, in Script Tech, one of the really nice things about Audio Design Desk is that you don't need all of the other libraries. But if you do, I mean, because we're constantly cranking out new output, but if you do, then we'll have those for you as well, because third-party content will be available in it, and you'll even be able to bounce your stuff, put it right into licensing inside of other people's projects in the same environment. It's badass. Oh, here you go. Zev is kicking down a little bit of advice here, and I agree. I would take out the kick drum for like 2 or 4 as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tom's adding a little modulator filter on the pluck as well. Yeah, I would say after I will check that out in just a bit, Zeph. Yes, on the ADD team, absolutely. What's up, Tremtias? How you doing, man? Welcome back. And I do still work with output and everybody else. It's just less and less. ADD is starting to take up more and more of my time. And honestly, super happy to commit to it. Of all of the startups and really badass things that I've helped get off the ground in the past, I think that this one has the most potential for massive sea change impact in our industry. So, and I remember thinking the same when we were building ADSR, like this is the dawning of the era of independent sound design. Yes! Power to the people. But I think that this is just even more so than all of the other things built over the years. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a solid tip from Tom there. Oh, except for, you know what, Zev? I'm not sure. I need to do update on ADD, and I don't know if I actually want to pull this up right at the end of my stream. Is it the same audio that you sent through Slack at the end yesterday? Can ADD run as a plugin in other hosts? It actually syncs with other hosts. You don't even need to use it as a plugin, although we do have our eyes set on building some plugins. You will, in the near future, be able to access ADD resources in more than one way. I'll put it that way. Oh, it's just an MP3 file. Okay, cool. Yeah, of course you can drop a 30-second jingle, drum ties. Yes, of course. Let me just grab this from Zev really quick. All right, so Zev, and if you haven't followed him, follow him. Zev Music in the chat. Right-click his name, follow him. He's on the team now as well, and he's been playing with it in the last couple of live streams he's done, and this is some fun that he got up to yesterday with it. It's such a weird mashup. Dude, you never would have made this in Logic. What a freaking ride. I mean, seriously, this is just so great. I got that. Oh, I miss Clint. He's the one that did all the frogs and hat stuff. That's where the little... Oh, that's awesome. That is great. Oh yeah, of course in Script Tech. It's Mac only right now. Just a heads up. This one's from Drum Ties. I just set this up here really quick. It's a short one. Superhero jingle. Okay, a few things. I'm not even going to write it down. I'm just going to talk through this. A few things. So the theme is super solid. Although I would say that the balance is off. I think that a lot of the mid-range stuff that's in there is really buried because you've got this big synth and you've got the kind of 8-bit kind of sound over the top. So let's go back to the very beginning here. That kind of sound in the back, like that could totally come up. And if you added just a little bit more attack to it, it would probably come across a bit more as like breathing almost. And that would add a ton of character to this thing, right? So finding a way to move the things around in a mix like that, to disclose an element like that, when you're able to, you know that you're kind of starting to hit the sweet spots of the position and the level of each one of the individual elements. Let's go a little bit further into here. Needle drop here right in the middle. So there's this nice little snare work right here, and it's not actually coming through with the impact that it could have. So if you were to bring down the two loudest synths by quite a bit, like maybe by 25%, 30%. Make it drastic, right? Noticeable. You're probably going to hear a lot more in your mix, right? So, and whenever that's the case, it's an indicator that you should stop what you're doing. And I know that this is one that you already did, so this is just for future advice. But when you're in those situations, it's a clear indication that you need to just stop what you're doing and redo the volume mix. Bring up the main hero, the main focal point, like the one element that you want to be taking the priority in the mix, and mix everything under that, right? And start from zero on all of them, and make sure that when you bring up that hero, that you're stopping at a point that's leaving you at least 6 dB of headroom on that, right? And bring up everything underneath it at the appropriate level, one at a time. And it might be better to work from bass to treble, right? And then also from center to side. So as you're bringing up your levels, you can find the position for them in the stereo mix as well. Keep your bass element square in the middle and start moving stuff out to the sides as you're going up in frequency. And when you do that, you're going to hear a lot more of those individual elements. And when you're managing your volume from the very beginning, it's going to make it a lot easier to find the stereo position for each one as well. So aside from that, like aside from the volume mix and a couple of things getting buried in there, I really like the theme. It's a solid one. And it's a fun little hybrid too. Yeah, those oboes, right? In script tech, yeah. Just stick around. If you're sticking around in the community, then you will know when it happens. And if you're not sure if you will, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the ADD newsletter, or shoot me an email and we can connect or something. Oh yes, and Nano, I see your comment about the highs being too high. That's the other thing, is that I would wrangle in a few of the frequencies on this. So just really quick, getting back to this. It's the top synth. Right here. Right here. This is where it's hitting the hardest. That we've got pain points that if there's just too much activity at very specific frequencies, it starts to just hurt, right? So anytime we get close to those levels in those frequencies, it just translates as too much. But you don't necessarily need to do anything other than EQ, or on something like this, you could even use something like an overdrive that allows you to target a specific frequency in your sound. And if you're targeting below those highest frequencies, it's going to round off the top end of your sound. It's going to kind of dull that sound just a little bit. And something like that might actually translate well with this type of a sound. It's going to leave that synth just slightly darker overall. So yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Tremtice, if you're gonna redo this, I would say yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course, of course. And you are welcome. And I'm glad that it always resonates with you. Oh, and Iggy's talking about space. Um, Yeah, I think I'd rather hear a new volume mix and a better EQ on that top line synth before I would adjust anything on the space, just because, um, you know, too much space on anything like this starts to move it out of the realm of relevance for some people. You know what I mean? The bigger the space you put something in, the more specific it's becoming and the less applicable it will be to the masses. So if this is something that you're wanting to sell into licensing, I get the volume and EQ stuff worked out first and then revisit that. Hope that makes sense. All right. Ben dropped another one in here. Here we go. What? It's Tech. Thanks for hanging. Come back soon. I want to hear that again. What the hell just happened, Ben? Alarm. 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 I think I'd choose a different hero. And this bass sound at the end, delicious. Okay, so starts out very Dead Mouse 5e, and then that crazy low metallic synth, and then what the hell just happened at 1 minute? Seriously though, I would take that probably as is. I might put just a little bit of an EQ to take off some of the highest frequencies there. Not quite sure. You might want to stretch it out first and just kind of play with this idea. What if you stretch that out? What if you stretched it out with the speed algorithm and did it by a factor of 2? So now it's ooh, maybe even a subtle pitch bend on the very end of it, like as it's going up. You know what I mean? Something like that might be really flipping cool because the way that this actually hits. So it does this really quick sweep, and it's got like this little resonant peak up at the very top, and then all of a sudden you're just kind of like here, and there's no like atmospheric carryover or anything. So which I think can play well. Like it's okay to do like a hard stop into a new segment, but I think that it should be aligned a little bit better with um, the aesthetic of it, right? This new segment that you're going into, it's this kind of drop down, right? And that you've got this kind of whip up at the very, very end. It's very, very sudden. So there's a bit of, what's the right word? It's a bit incongruous, right? But if you were to kind of stretch that out, so it's the wind up to the drop itself is actually running a bit slower, and maybe you just put like a little speed or pitch drop at the very end of it, a very subtle one as it's going up. I think it would probably pretty cool. Take care, Tom. Big love, dude. Yeah, that sweep was sick. Oh, Tom, thank you. Much, much love to you too, man. I really do appreciate it. I'll tell Nico you're sending the love. It'll make him feel happy. All right, Trim Ties is saying, all right, if you got time, this one I know has a lot of high end on the drums and breakdown drags out a bit too much, but overall the track was super fun. Well, if you've got time. Yeah, dude. We'll call this the last one here. All right, so this one is from Trim Ties. Itsy Bitsy Spider. Okay, hold on a second. Seriously? I'm already in love with it. Let's do this. Wait, what's going on here? What the hell? Add overdrive to that. All right, so I got some stuff here. Okay, and let me just read through this here. You're saying, in my opinion, the mix when it drops is a bit too glassy, but maybe do get some wider on it and some EQ. Ben, I'm just reading your comments. It was a synth that you turned into a filter band as an audio file. Um, Yep, that's solid advice there from Ben, saying the best thing I found for clarity and sound design was take off anything widening or create depth, tune the synths, and then add back all to taste. Yes, and proper EQing, of course. And Serum multiband all day. Yeah, exactly. I think that the multiband, it's OTT inside of Serum. And what Ben is speaking to here, what NanoWire is speaking to here, is that the power, the punch, the clarity is oftentimes perceived through accentuating the mids. So when something has some kind of a spread on it, it's reducing the amount of clarity because it's reducing the amount of focus, right? Think about this. Here's like a very focused sound. And now we're going to add stereo spread to it, right? And so now like we've got this kind of image of the sound, but it's no longer focused, right? So bringing that in, finding a different way to make it appear wider is really the answer. And oftentimes it can be done with stereo imaging in a much better way than using anything that's going to spread it, like chorus. Like a lot of spread plugins are actually adding some sort of a chorus effect to it. And in something like this, I would advise against that because you've already got this dark, grungy, really full kind of bottom energy in this thing, which is it's darker. It's going to take away from that mid-range clarity overall, right? Because you want to keep that really low driving force in there. So yeah, I would advise against the spread type plugins and do it more manually with like stereo imaging. That said, it's a freaking fantastic thing here. I would add some overdrive to the pulse bass line to up the higher harmonics. I think it'll help make it pop. And that's in the very, very beginning of the song. If you target like 4.5K to like 6K, somewhere in there, you're going to find a sweet spot where that bass just sounds flippin' delicious all of a sudden. And you'll know it when you hear it. And I put a tag here of 50 seconds, but really it's just in general. The mid seems a bit flat overall. And by flat, I mean it doesn't have the punch that you would hope that it has. So here's how we fix that. Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with your arrangement. Your arrangement's fantastic in this. We're just talking embellishments here at this point. Multiband compression is the hero. And what we were talking about just a little bit ago about the Serum multiband, toss OTT on there. See if it helps. If it does, and do it gently at first. Don't just toss it on there and wham! I would do it gently. I'd bring down your upward and downward compression a bit. Focus your energy on the mids and see if you can find some settings that really make the whole thing, you know what I mean? Just in your face, but it's got to come from the mids. If it gives you that, but you don't necessarily like the quality of it, then use a different multiband compressor. But it's going to show you very quickly if that will indeed do it for you. And I think it will. And this is, I put this in here, but I'll just read it really quick. The bulk of the life force is in the mids for a track like this, right? So if it is in any way lacking, the entire track will feel kind of held back. So there you go. At 205, that tiny little stutter effect, it's like right over here, I think. There it is, 206. I think it should come up, and you have a few different little embellishments in there that I think those should be highlighted. So overdrive, again, is your friend. You can use overdrive to create more harmonics above the fundamental, right? So it has a specific focal point in the mix. Now you're going to add shine, and you need to bring up the presence of those tiny little embellishments, because those are the things that add impact overall. And then when you get that through the mid range, or from the multiband compression, when you bring your mid power up a bit, the overall mid presence, you're going to feel those transitions. You won't just hear them. And that's important. The other thing you might want to do, just to grab the ears just a little bit more on each one of those small like embellishment transition sounds that you have in there, is move them a little bit. Start them in one spot and move them to a different spot. It could be a small amount of change, but if it moves in the stereo field and it's also moving in amplitude, it's going to be heard, and it's going to be noticed, and people will look forward to finding those little tidbits. 230, you can really tell that the pad is like just pushed too far back. It's got a really cool effect on the mix, so I would bring it up. At 250, I would add a suck back. A suck back is like a reverse sound that's dry on the end. It does not have a reverb tail, so it'd be like a right, and I think that would just go miles right here. Where is that? Right here. Right there. So we're talking like it's got to have some sort of a white noise component to it to make it sit above that little stutter. But just like the other stutter, I would bring that one up and I would align the length of the suckback with that. So now it's got an accent on it and it's really going to stand out and like that. At 3, I would add something hard and metallic, probably an anvil. I'm not sure that anything would be more spot on for this track than an anvil. And then at the very end, again, overdrive, I know, but it's not overdoing it, I swear. It's just, we've got to make this thunder really, really crack, right? That right there should have just a crack. And you can get that. You can highlight all of those hidden little details up in the upper frequencies, again, with an overdrive. And when I say add a little overdrive, love, it is quite literally, you're just going to take whatever simple overdrive you have. You don't even need to add drive usually. And you're just going to, for that thunder, you're probably going to target like 8.5K or something like that. And the thunder you might want to crank a little bit of drive into, but the rest of the sounds I don't think you'll need to. But this, you'll be amazed at what a simple move like this will do for a sound like thunder. That scream, yeah. Yeah, Zach, I enjoyed the darker melodies in here too. You wanted to get rid of the major sound and make it a bit more eight-legged freaks like. Well, what you could do then is take that, you could use a pitch shifter. If you're speaking about the pad, you could take a pitch shifter and take it down like 2 steps and bring that in at like 25 or 30% or something like that. Oh, look at that. Thank you for spreading the love, Saf. Little sub for Trem Ties. Welcome to the family. You'll see guys like Hans Zimmer and these guys do that because it instantly shifts it towards this darker kind of horror kind of a sound. It's not really horror. It's more like unsettling, right? Because it's not harmonically aligned. But you can do that. think there might be OTT on there. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, you know, it'll just be a matter of fiddling with it to the point where you're going to find the punch from those mids. More Anvil. Oh no, did you miss some of the feedback? Well, you've got a sub power, so you can go back and you can watch the VOD on this one. Oh, and speaking of subs, don't forget, every single subscriber gets a free sound pack. Go hit the Discord, go into subscriber rewards, and download. Hey, Nanowires is subbed again. Thank you so much, Saf, for the love. This month it is Mod Bits Volume 1, which is a whole bunch of awesome modular percussive sounds. Not percussive as in drums, but percussive as in sharp, short sounds. Very easy to play with in sequencers. Anvil is a Canadian heavy metal band. Of course it is. Yes. Yes. The Story of Anvil. Oh man, I'll check it out. I'm a sucker for a good one. Yeah, like make it detuned. Here, let me just show you really quick what I mean. So no, your mix of something like that would be maybe 25%, 30% or something like that. So you would just bring it down to semitones. You'd probably want to make sure that you're doing your pitch tracking instead of like setting it to drums or vocals or anything like that. Not sure what kind of pitch shifter you're using, but this is what I would do. Make sure that there's no, or that the latency compensation is on, because a lot of pitch shifters will actually put out a kind of a sample delay effect, which will just make it weird. Yeah, depending upon how this actually affects the pad, you might end up going up a bit more. But if it gets weird and phasey, there are other things you can do. You can go back to the idea of an overdrive, and let's say the focal point of that pad is actually somewhere up around like here, and what you would do then is just target below it, like maybe by about half the distance, and it will darken your sound. It will give it a darker vibe. It'll just roll off the top. And the difference between doing this with an EQ versus doing it through saturation changes like this is that you're not going to get the phase effect. It's not really going to upset the phase position. Man, this is why I love this community so much. Everybody remembers what people are doing in their lives. It's nice. It's nice. Just started playing with mod bits. Have to try a different VCV sampler this time, says Paul. Awesome, awesome. Tremties, it looks like Saf beat you to it this month. What are you going to do with $12 anyway? Oh, man. Yeah, that is a fun project. Anytime you get to play with stuff that you know, sang as a little kid or whatever, it's like Dr. Seuss, you know? Hey, Andremia, how are you, dude? Happy Friday to you, Andy. All right, well, I've been in this little sweatbox for hours now, so I think what I'm going to do is call this a stream. Let's go raid someone fun. And maybe I'll do another stream this weekend. Little surprise weekend stream. Because we didn't... have a stream on... What day was that? Wednesday. So maybe we'll do that this weekend. Sorry to be bouncing right as you're coming in the door, Andy. It's not because of you, man. You smell fine. Seriously. Oh, Louis Vuitton is on. Okay. Sure. As long as we don't have someone in the family streaming right now, we'll go do that. Let me just bounce over to my browser here. It is the weekend, though. So for those of you who don't circle back and tune in, if we do a stream this weekend, I hope you have a good weekend and stay inspired and make awesome things and all that jazz. Louis it is. Here we go. He's just fired it up. So anyway, like I was saying, I hope you all have a great weekend and stay inspired. If I do raid, or if I do stream this weekend, I hope to see you there. And I appreciate you guys for spending time with me again. Y'all have a fantastic time watching some Louis Vuitton TV. Peace out.